Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Court means cut. Law, as we spoke of earlier, in reverse is wall. We're talking about the cut wall, cutting away the prima materia, your source, your connection to source. We're going to go into obstetric tradition. These are the birthing rituals. This is the primary principal trauma. This is your first steps in the world, and it's been a rough go in the past. There's a lot of movements out there to make the birthing ritual, the birthing process, less traumatic. A whole lot of work is going on in that direction. It's a very good thing. I support it, but I just want to point out, the way that we got here was basically everybody came into this world off on a bad foot, much like the Fool card, falling off a cliff on the very beginning. So the placenta is the place entered. The baby comes into this world with a bag of luggage. And the word luggage in Latin is equipaje, equipment. They are fully equipped. And in most obstetric practices, that luggage is cut off directly, prematurely. And in fact, after the court, the placenta is still pumping blood. There are still fluids moving around. There's still an exchange going on. And in India, they will actually leave it intact and for much longer until after a fortnight it will fall off naturally. And I will point out that in India and in the East, there are many, many, many more cases of people with past life memory, fully retaining the experiences of the life before. And I posit that that has a lot to do with the placenta and how the placenta is treated. I mentioned in the last video that the word sacred, we are talking about the sacred caul. The caul sac is another word for the placenta. And funny enough, the caul is given to the hospital. It goes into a chain of custody, and there is paperwork. Some people have gone into tracking down where it goes, what happens with it. We know there's an entire black market industry going on behind closed doors. And in exchange, your name, what you are called, gets put onto a bonded surety, the Sesta KV and the Sesta K Trust. And we are not the primary beneficiaries. Those are being traded on the stock market with that CUSIP number. So I just need to point out that the word call in Latin is shama. And shamar means to command. It also means to sing, to charm. And when you ask somebody in Latin or Spanish, ¿Cómo se llama?, you're not saying, what is your name? You are literally saying, how are you commanded? And so here we see that our name commands us. It compels us in maybe more ways than we like to think. So once that bonded surety, the two-dimensional paperwork, the fictional realm, is secured, you are entering into the UCC. That's the Uniform Commercial Code. And that becomes your costume, your uniform. Everybody is uniform. The word form in Black's Law is a skeleton. And the costume, the uniform that you're given, it costs your humanity. You've given up your sacred call. And now you are operating in fiction. And that gives you your castration. This is your place in the world. You are not. You don't have the divine right of kings. You are of the mundane. You are worldly. So in Greek mythology, there is a god, Hypnos. In Hypnos' cave, he is the god of sleep. And everybody who comes into this realm enters through the gate of the horn or the gate of lies. Gate of the horn or the gate of ivory. Gate of the horn is the truth, the true reality, the full overlay, the two worlds combined. The world of lies is this fictional realm. It's the Matrix. And a lot of people go through their life asleep, not realizing that there is a deeper layer of truth underneath all of this costume that cost us our humanity. And we operate in fiction way more than we would ever admit to. So in Greek mythos and philosophy, this is called the genius or the daemon or the guardian angel in more Christian mythos. But this is on one shoulder is the good angel, other shoulder is a little devil. And that is the human condition, to know the difference between good and evil. I just want to point out here, your N-A-M-E, that is not me. That is the salt of me. Na is salt on the periodic table. Lot's wife, she didn't have a name. We don't know her name. She's a pillar of salt. And she has no identity. So we just call her Lot's wife. She's a statute. She is locked in space and time as a fiction. Statue. And also the letters N-A-M-E can be turned against you. Your name can be used against you. It becomes your enemy in a court of law. So, just a quick breakdown. I do believe that the gate of the horn and the gate of ivory are talking about, that's talking about the breast milk. The initiation, the first food that you receive. And you can be fed the fiction, the absence of the full estate of your dominion. Or in some certain cultures, still today, there are those who their mother, much like all of the animal kingdom, remains in natural law. And she eats the forbidden fruit. And she gives you the full estate. And those people are able to see through the gate of the horn. They're able to see the truth, and they see this fiction going on around them. Excuse me. I want to go over the phrase "in the beginning" from the Torah. These are the first words of the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The heaven and the earth. The ethereal and the material. Those are the two dimensions. That is, the material realm is the fictional, the frictional, the fixed realm. And there is an ethereal realm that overlays that, and that is the world of ideas. Here we have Plato and Aristotle, the above and the below. This is all foundational to the use of magic, the use of psychology, the use of mind control. All the same thing, very much so. So Barashit is the phrase "in the beginning." And I'm just going to break Barashit down letter by letter. And you can see that every letter is telling us something that I believe has everything to do with this, the call sack, the usufruct, the use of the first fruits. The USA is usufruct because most of us are bonded sureties for a bankrupt franchise. Bait, that is the word tent or house. That is the placenta. That's the tent that you came into or came out of when you came into the world. Resh is head or prince, birthright of kings, the head, the prince, the crown. Aleph, ox, to go forth. It also means fire. And sheen is teeth or crush. That means to eat it. to eat the tent of the prince that is the ox. It's doing the labor. It's drawing you forward. It's your intuition telling you where to go, pulling you along. Teeth, to eat, to crush. Yod, new beginning. This is talking about a second coming. Tav, a covenant. Fulfilled, it is also a cross. The T is a tav. We're talking about crossing over. I believe the entire word, Barashit, is giving instructions for obstetric tradition. And there are some who may still hold to these ways. And it may just be commonplace for them. Might not be anything special. Whereas all of us are wandering around in the gate of ivory, hypnotized by what we think is reality. But I believe there is much more to know in this world, and most of us are castrated from our higher intuition, our higher self, the salt of the land. So here's some words to look up. I don't have time or space to go into the details, but they all play into how your name, nay, me, can become your enemy if you are not aware of the grand spell that is being cast on everybody. And those words are, this one is German, it's a very long word, Denkraumverlust. I'll bring the camera in closer, you can see it. Denkraumverlust is conflating symbol with the subject. So when a judge or a police officer holds up your ID or a piece of paper that has your nay, me on it and says, "Is this you?" you say, "No, I am me. That belongs to the state. That is not me. I am me." My name is private. Whatever that piece of paper says, that's not me. Look up enclothed cognition. This is described as looking good is feeling good, but that's a very surface level description of enclothed cognition. That word clothed, we're talking about the cloak, the caul, the sack red caul. And I'm going to put a little spell down so everybody can see what I'm getting at here. Onomancy. That is a Pythagorean practice of divination by letters of a name. Look that up. It's that old. It goes back to Pythagoras. And we know Pythagoras, they were into shapes, geometry of the circle, the sacred circle. So 2 words. The most powerful word in law, in the wall, is man. Man is the 5-pointed star. The second most powerful word is claim. Staking your claim. The 2 most powerful words in law translate to the pentagram, the Pythagorean pentagram. Full circle, everybody. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Cain and the wall. Abel. Keep your head up, everyone. Much strength.